Government contracts have been available for years. We've heard about them. They're always in the news. Companies from Amazon to the neighbor down the street that you didn't even know sold to the government. The federal government spends billions of dollars every year buying products and services from people like you and like me. I have 3 government contracting companies, and I'm waiting for my 4th one to get a cage code. So I totally understand what many of you are going through. So knowing this brings us to the ultimate question. What do you sell? What do you sell? What do you sell? That will get us to our first contract. So I have a video where I interview Kimberly Kidd. She's been in this space for a couple of years and has won, I believe, almost $2 million in contracts. She started out in IT, like a corporate environment, right? And she decided she was done with it. She wanted to go off on her own, start her own company. However, she knew IT was not the place for her to begin. It would have taken potentially certain set asides. It was not at all the route she wanted to take. So what she did was what many people do, and that is go the path of least resistance pertaining to something that's low risk. Before Kimberly Kidd had $2 million in contracts, you have to make sure to be a prime contractor, you are registered in Sam.Gov and you have a cage code. If you are not active in SAM, you cannot win an award. So the last thing you want is to put in all this time and energy into a proposal and you find out, I can't do it. The next thing that you must do is ponder, do you want to be a subcontractor? Meaning somebody else does all the hard work. They find the client, they're involved in the sales, the marketing, and they have an opportunity for you. When I first started out, some of my non-government work was for a major organization. They were a small business, but they really dominated the field that they were in. And it was awesome because I didn't have to exude all of that energy and figure out how to get into the door. They did all of that and they just brought it to me. So I was able to get paid for my expertise and I had my business set up. So it was perfect. If you're interested in being paid as an expert, there are plenty of opportunities out there for you to be a 1099, a gig person. There's tons of those. So when it comes to getting that first government contract, it is based on which route do you want to take? Do you want to be the prime contractor, like you're the holder of the contract, or do you want to be a subcontractor where somebody's bringing the work to you? If your objective is to be a subcontractor, it's pretty easy. It just boils down to networking and identifying a potential burning need for what you offer. For instance, there's a woman who I coach. Her background is IT. She excels at IT project management. So for several years, she's been a 1099, a subcontractor, an independent contractor for different companies working on different government contracts because of her expertise and because of her networking. So to accomplish this, you go to LinkedIn. You make it known. You let everyone know on LinkedIn, hey, I'm really interested in 1099 opportunities. You search in LinkedIn for those who are connected to the kind of companies that you would love to provide these services to. So leverage LinkedIn. Dust off your profile, connect with people who are in the area or connected to the companies you would like to 1099 for, and let the world know, hey, I'm seeking a 1099 gig opportunity. I would go so far to put it on all my social media, to put it on Instagram. I would put it everywhere. Why? Because we remember that. If you want to land your first government contract as a subcontractor, this is it. It's reaching out to business owners like myself to see if we're looking for something that you offer. The other approach, and that is you can chat with an existing employer. Sometimes if you let them know that you want to go out on your own as a 1099. Sometimes they'll say, okay, well, great. We'll just take your position and convert it over. Sometimes they want to do that. Sometimes they don't. Going back to Miss Kimberly Kidd, what she ended up doing was getting into HVAC. So for all of you out there who maybe you're like, listen, I got it, but I want to go this more entrepreneurial route. I want to be a prime contractor. So you go where they are spending, where it's easy to win. Things that are low risk are easier to win because often they will base everything on price. So let that soak in. It's a way for you to get into the door and then to grow. That is what the low risk opportunities do for you. Sometimes it could be training. Maybe they're just looking for someone to provide a leadership course. That's low risk. I must add something because there's a lot of noise out here like, oh, you can do the middleman and you can get into government, get all this money and do all these things. Often there is a bit of an upfront expense. If you're reselling batteries, how are you going to get the batteries to Hawaii? Here's the deal. And this happens all of the time. You win the contract. It's not as hard as it seems to win, but you win it. But if you're not set up to execute it, then you end up like a particular woman who reached out and won a contract. And when I broke down what she won, she said, I don't want it. I want to send it back. Look, I get it. It's kind of our first response, like, oh, I don't want that. Like, take it back. Take it back. Like, I get it, but this is business. There's no like, take it back. So having a relationship with a small bank, like a bank no one has ever heard of, not Chase, not PNC, not Bank of America, y'all, with like a really small bank or credit union is really helpful because often they're going to be able to provide to you a line of credit or a credit card. So then you can put the money up front. So the low risk areas are important. The other way to land your first government contract is to go to acquisition.gov. Acquisition.gov. And there you go to the bottom and you click a button that says forecast, and you can take a look at all of the different opportunities that various agencies want to buy. So for example, if you are a service disabled vet, go to the VA's website that focuses on business, and there's a whole area for forecast. And it lists probably thousands of things that they're looking to buy. And legally, the VA must purchase from a service disabled veteran owned firm first. So what this does, it narrows the competition, it focuses you in, and you still have thousands of things to choose from. And there's definitely something there you could win in a few months. The other thing is how to win your first contract is to leverage your set-asides. So even if you are not certified as a woman-owned small business or economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business, does not mean that you cannot respond to those set-asides. You still can. So leveraging those further narrows the competition. Because in this government space, it's about narrowing the competition. No different than Amazon. You all may remember, and they still kind of do this. Like, let's say you're looking for something on Amazon and it'll say like Amazon brand or Amazon preferred, and it kind of highlights it because Amazon's going to make a larger margin on that. So they want to get rid of all of the competition. It doesn't matter if there's 5 other companies that sell the same item. They're getting rid of the competition by highlighting it, showcasing it because they're the company behind it. So that's their way to get rid of the competition. Or take, I think it was called diapers.com. When that company was out, they really were a thorn in Amazon's side because they were directly competing with them for the mom market. So Amazon bought them and closed them down. This is a space where you can easily get in and win your first contract. You can definitely do that. It's focusing on the low risk areas as a prime with a cage code and an active SAM registration. For those of you where you're like, I don't want any of that, it's taking the subcontract route, penetrating your network, going on LinkedIn, connecting with business owners like myself or others who you believe may need what you offer. It's you and what your business provides that's going to get you the work. It's also you understanding what you're bidding on and you leveraging networks and thinking outside of the box. You put all of those together, you're going to grow and blossom when it comes to your space. It's what's going to happen. There are are tons of organizations that have set-asides, even 8As, and they never get any work. It happens. So with that, you all, there's no reason you can't do it. This is a beautiful space, everyone. A beautiful, beautiful space. There's thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of opportunities. Following these suggestions, having a strategy will lead to an abundance. So I love and adore each and every one of you. Hit the notification, hit the subscribe, share, like. So with that, all my amazing GovCon winners, do not forget, every single thing is possible. Until next time, take care, y'all.